Tip number one. So have you ever been advertised a product, software, or anything at all, and when you actually got the product, it wasn't what was advertised? Well, I'm sure you've been there, and I've definitely been there, and it's not a good feeling, right? So think about your video in the same way. If a person sees an appealing thumbnail, they see a clickable title, but then when they actually start watching the video, you don't deliver on what the title and the thumbnail presented, they're gonna jump off your video, right? And your watch time's gonna go completely down. And I'm sure that's not what you want. So you wanna confirm the reason that they clicked on the title and the thumbnail. Now, one of the ways that I do this is I ask a question or I jump right into the content. So notice I didn't have a hook on this video. I just jumped right into the content because it was based on how my thumbnail and my title was set up. So always make sure that you're confirming what it is that they're seeing in the title and in the thumbnail. Tip number two, you wanna become one with pacing. So what am I even talking about? So if you've ever been watching a video and the video just seems like it should be flowing a lot smoother, but it just seems so slow, it's to the point where you just want to just jump off the video because it seems like it's taking too long to get to the point. Now, there are some people who take forever to get to the point, and some of them do that on purpose, but some videos can just be improved by controlling the pacing. Now, the question you might be asking yourself is, how do I actually do that? Well, let me show you. So this software that I'm inside of right now is a video editing software. It's called Descript. I'll leave a link down below in the description. That way you can actually get started for free if you actually want to implement what I'm about to show you. So I'm gonna go here to where it says show timeline. I'm gonna click on that. Now, as you can see, I have the timeline right here, right? And you can also see the text. You can edit with text with this as well. And I have multiple videos on the channel. So if you actually get started with this today, you'll have a whole bunch of tutorials that you can use to actually understand how to use this effectively, okay? All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So right here, let me kind of zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so you're gonna notice that there's spaces. Notice there's no talking going on right here, right? So let me play this, and what we're listening for is if I do this right here. Like I breathe in and there's space in between, right? That if I get rid of that space, I'm able to then control the pacing of my video and make it a little bit faster. Most times you want it to be a little bit faster. You don't want it extremely slow, okay? So let me show you what I'm talking about. I'm gonna go ahead and hit play and let's see if we can hear the breath. All right, okay, so there it is right there. I went just like that, so let's play it again. That's cool. Okay, so what I would want to do here is I would come here and I would bring this back just like this. So now we got less of a breath. Okay, so let me go ahead and play it again. All right, let's go ahead. Okay, so the breath was a little bit better. Now, sometimes you can take it all the way back, right? So there are times where I do that. Let me go back to that. There are times where I bring it all the way, but it also has to look and sound good as well, right? So let's just play this and let me show you what happens. All right, let's go ahead and get. Okay, so I didn't really like how that moved, right? So what I would want to do there is I would hit Command Z since I'm on Mac. Now, what I usually do is I tend to bring mine to either 0.15 or I bring it to 0.20. Okay, and that usually works good for me as far as how my cuts go. Okay, so the goal is to control your pacing by just removing all of the unnecessary word gaps in between, which are just air in the first place. Tip number three. The thing that I'm trying to explain to you here in this tip is that, you know, a lot of times we get into where we want to share our information, we're excited about it, and we just go on and start talking and talking and talking, right? But I feel like it's a lot more powerful if I'm telling somebody something, but I'm also showing them that visual, right? So whether it's a picture that I put up on the screen to give that visual, or it's a video, and what we call that is we call that B-roll. The A-roll is what you're looking at right now, me on the video, but if I were to pull up like a video of something that I'm talking about, like let's say for example, I'm talking about flying drones, right? Then I might want to put drones up on the screen, right? Or me actually in the field flying the drones, whether I'm using stock footage or myself. Or if I'm talking about running a mile, right? I might want to put some stock footage up on the screen showing somebody running a mile or myself running a mile, right? So it's giving people that visual so they can see the thing instead of you just saying the thing. Tip number 4. So you probably already noticed that my background looks a little bit different. Like there's some things that were behind me just a minute ago that are not behind me right now. Like for example, the eagle that was to my right shoulder. You don't see that anymore. But now you probably saw the couch, but now you see the couch a lot closer and you can see everything else. So what you can do is you can completely move to another location, like a new location, a completely different room, or you can just change the angles to where people can see something different so it resets their eyes. Tip number 5, notice anything different? The jacket I got on, right? So before I had a black jacket on, and now I have the white jacket on, right? So even just the change of your clothes can actually reset the eyes of the person, right? And the good thing about a lot of these that I just shared with you is that you can combine these in your videos. So let's say I want to switch my clothes and switch the location. Now their eyes has to look at, oh, what's going on in the background? Oh, what shirt he got on? Or if they're really paying attention to a lot of those things, which most people are, because it's going to reset their eyes.